Hi, I am Bea Fernandez, and today I will be discussing our study entitled Textualizing the Future, the Dystopian Perspective. I have a confession to make. I am not a huge fan of reading, watching, or listening to news, which I think is something I need to work on, something that I have to fix in myself. Because as students, we are highly encouraged to be socially aware of all the things that are happening around us. Living in my generation, I have come to realize how being updated is very important, how news are important, how they inform us and spark us into action. Yet we don't really follow news that much nowadays. But what I've noticed with today's generation, as an innovative and advanced generation, we have our own ways of keeping ourselves updated. Besides being active on social media or on the web, there's this activity that piques our interests and keeps us at the edge of our seats, and that is reading modern books. You see, books aren't stagnant. They keep up with society's pace, with trends and fads, and all the other social dilemmas our world faces in a day to day basis. Much like how an economist keeps up with consumers' wants and needs, authors and books do the same. And what is even more amazing about today's books is that, oftentimes, they look past the present. They discuss matters that are ahead of our time. Plots with people being divided into factions and follow a militarian rule who sets fixed rules for everybody to follow. People undergoing simulations, fighting against each other for survival. Young people finding a way out of the maze, or a society implanted with microchips, filled with robots and futuristic equipments. These books are what reel young people in because of their thrilling and enticing plots, yet at the same time, inform them and give them ideas of how our world may be in the days ahead. These books give us a glimpse of the unending possibilities there are in the future, what with all the challenges we are battling today. These books belong to the dystopian literature. Dystopia, meaning a dark and hostile atmosphere or environment, which is the core and the main topic of our study. The dystopian literature encompasses a lot of subject matters, mostly revolving around a society ruled by a militaristic type of government, therefore hindering them from freedom and rights. These books often present a dark future filled with advanced technology and a society fighting for survival against the rule of a supreme leader. Divergent, a book by Veronica Roth and a personal favorite of mine, shows a society divided into subgroups, each possessing a commonality among members. So they had factions like Dauntless, who are known to be strong and fearless people, the Abnegation, for their humble and selfless character, the Erudite, for their wits and great strategies and innovation, and a lot more. All of the people required to only be in one faction, and diverging from this idea will endanger you. This is how the future is portrayed. People were restrained, a few had the power. This study on the influence and impact of dystopian literature on the modern society aims to inform people, especially the youth of today, about how this type of literature enthuses and shapes the minds of many young readers. The study's main objective is to recognize the intentions of young readers upon reading this type of literature, how these books significantly change their perspectives or outlook in life, especially towards the impending future. By introducing the nature of dystopian literature, this study aims to enlighten people about its distinctive content that is different from older forms of literature, and how this content, though seldom pleasing, create relevant ideas and promote morals to its readers. Moreover, this study aims to expound further on the context of dystopian literature and how it creates change in an individual by identifying and understanding if this type of fiction will encourage young readers to do certain courses of action for the betterment of the future society. Ultimately, this study, with the use of an audiovisual presentation, aims to inspire and encourage a wide audience to reawaken the present, so as to rethink and rebuild a habitable future. Though dystopian literature constantly portrays a dark and hostile content, the effect on its readers is often the opposite. As the audience are presented with a negative perspective of what the future could be if the prevailing societal events continue to put pressure on the world, they become more aware and conscious of their surroundings. Their perspective expands to further paths, new ideas, and endless possibilities, which then influence the way they act and relate with the society. This is proven to be true, especially to the youth of today who are into this type of literature. According to the survey conducted with the researchers among the grade 11 and 12 students of St. Scholastica's Academy, Bacolod, reading dystopian-themed books elicit curiosity and give them a fresh perspective of the future. Reading books of this genre give them a sense of freedom and excitement, which helps them expand their horizons, widen their imagination, and exercise critical thinking. Most importantly, dystopian literature instills a sense of awareness in the reader. It encourages them to act upon worldly issues presented in the books. According to a respondent, the future is always deputed negatively in dystopian literature. I guess these values made me realize that I have to work on preserving what's left of today's resources so the stories don't come true. Literature indeed has impacted the world. It makes people feel, learn, act, think in a wider perspective, making them realize how the world is so much more than the limitations of the human mind. The evolution of dystopian literature served as a good platform for new and advanced ideas that opened the minds of many readers to the possibilities of the future, to the risks and rewards of human actions, to the things people still can do to change the impending consequences the society may face in the days ahead.